workstation setup, because I know how much you all love workstation setup. With the changes for IE10, there's been a lot of little things that are going on. So I know you all probably know how to do this, but I figured I would just go over it one more time with you guys. A lot of people still contact support, which is completely fine. But our goal is truly so that you guys can do your job, not have to bother us, but not take time out of your day to contact us so that you can just make your quick changes and move on. So the first part of the workstation setup, which I'm having a little fun time with this mouse here, is when you're in VISCO, you have to add it to your trusted sites. So under Tools in Internet Explorer, you have an option for Internet Options that pops up your box. So you click on the Security tab, and under Security you have Trusted Sites. So you click the green checkbox and then select Sites. Now for web service customers, you would add ViscoWebService.com. For network customers, you would actually add your server address or the actual IP, your link, etc. for your server to access VISCO. You would add it in here and then click Add, and then click Close. If you actually are using a secured, which is the HTTPS versus HTTP, which web service you are, you're fine. But sometimes you get a little pop-up that says if it's not HTTPS, and you're trying to add it, you get another little prompt. And you just need to uncheck this checkbox in order to add, and then click Close. The big thing, honestly, is anytime you guys get Microsoft updates, your settings get changed. That, once you do it once, you're pretty good unless for some reason your website or something changes. For the most part, the big thing that gets changed are your ActiveX settings, which if you select Trusted Sites and you come down to Custom Level, this is whenever you try to access a document and your document doesn't pop up, or you try to open a report and it says report printed successfully, and yet you're looking all over, where is my report? I have to Excel, like what just happened? So basically your ActiveX settings get reset, and they're very easy to change them back. So how I do it is I look for your main heading of ActiveX, which is the third one down. And for me, the easiest thing I remember is just make sure anything under here, under the submenus, make sure they're all enabled if you can enable them. It's the easiest way to remember, rather than having to look through the document and pick which ones individually you need to select. It's just much easier, at least for me. Just remember to enable all of them. You're not hurting anything. It's only making the changes for anything in your trusted site, so you're not doing anything crazy. But you just go through your submenus here and make sure everything's enabled. And when you do, then you would click OK. When you make the actual change, if you have made changes, you'll get another pop-up that says, are you sure you want to make your changes? You click yes, then you click OK, and then you can close. Another thing, for some of our web service customers in your trusted sites, you sometimes have to add our FTP address. Never mind, you don't have to do it. Okay, so you would just click OK and exit out. The other couple things, and I'll show you two ways. With the upgrade to IE10, I know Tim touched on this yesterday, the compatibility view, there's two ways to get to it. If you're here and you see your Tools menu, then you can hit Tools, Compatibility View Settings, and then you would add your VISCO site into here for compatibility view. Some people, once you sign in, you don't have that menu at the time. When it loads, and you hit yes, you hit function F12, and it pops up a menu. Sometimes it depends on your install where it is. But under, oh, here it is. Browser mode, IE10 compatibility view, and then you can just select IE10 compatibility view. This is actually And I have to tell you, I had this problem, and I submitted the task, and Andy had to come over and help me with, when I was in inventory adjustments, and I clicked on the vendor scan, my scan opened up to this like 1-by-1 little box. So yeah, I know you're smiling because I knew you had it. But it was like, what am I supposed to do? You can't see your scan. If that happens, you need to set your compatibility view. That will fix that problem. And it's actually pretty, once you change it, you really don't have to sign out, sign back in or anything. It just fixes it, which is great.
The compatibility, just to give you a little bit of background on why that all came to be, I mean, based on our research over the last few months, when they really pushed out IE10 to everyone using Windows, or at least I should say Windows 7 or Windows 8, is that, I mean, we're at a place now where we can't tell everyone to upgrade to Windows 10 because those still using Windows XP or Windows Vista aren't allowed to download IE10. And we still support XP and Vista, therefore we still support IE9 on those machines because they can't have IE10, which is why we have to be compatibility mode. So until we say we no longer support workstations using Windows XP and Vista, we're going to stick with this compatibility view to basically make everyone using either IE9 on those Vista or XP machines or IE10 on Windows 7 or Windows 8, have them, basically seeing the exact same thing. That's the goal, and that's the reason we have to go with compatibility. So we're around.
The other area is pop-up blockers.
Oh, I see. Pop-up blockers. Actually, do any of you guys use Chrome versus IE10? Anybody like Chrome better? No?
I see a head nod over there.
Did you? Oh, okay. Well, the Chrome actually, before IE10, we had a lot of users that liked Chrome because they felt it was faster. But now that IE10 has come out, it's actually better than Chrome. But we are compatible in Chrome, and the same settings apply. You do them in Internet Explorer, but you don't have to do anything in Chrome. On some Macs, actually, for Chrome, you need to try to install the IE tab. But I don't know, you have a Mac, right? Do you have the IE tab or no?
I use Parallels to run.
So then you didn't need it. Okay, cool. Well, if you do have Macs, we do have a couple other customers that run Macs, two of which actually don't run on Parallels, and they were able to get VISCO to come up on Chrome. So we're getting there. Huh? Yeah.
On Mac, they're loading held up.
On Chrome. Well, pop-up blockers, that's where we're going. When you're on your front screen under Tools, you actually have an option here for a pop-up blocker. And for VISCO, you can turn it off. Or if you're actually logging in the first time, you get the prompt and you can just click Always Allow. But also in Chrome, that was a big thing in Chrome, is that you have to click the pop-up blocker to the top right to turn it off. The other setting changes are...
One other thing on pop-up blockers, though, what a lot of people don't realize is if you have, you download toolbars, custom toolbars, like Yahoo has its own toolbar and Google has its own toolbar. Usually when you download them, they have their own pop-up blockers, and by default, pop-up blockers are enabled. Sometimes you can't figure out where the heck the pop-up blocker is coming from. A lot of times it's that toolbar that you downloaded will have its own pop-up blocker.
In fact, toolbars come as add-ons, free add-ons, so special, great, for other downloads that you might actually want. So you may end up with a lot more toolbars than you anticipated, just because people tack them on. I mean, Yahoo is famous for it. Google has been doing it for a while too. Where you're downloading other apps that are made by the same developers or even different developers, and also tack on toolbars because they think they're probably all the antivirus guys do.
So how many of you guys are running 2007 Excel, 2010? Anybody playing with 13 yet? No? Oh, you are. How do you like it? Yeah. 13 is very, very, very different and completely, the settings are the same VISCO-wise, but usability, it's completely, they changed the whole thing. So it's kind of like Windows 8. They threw everything out and started from scratch and totally went crazy. So for the most part, your settings from 2003 to 7 to 10 are the same. There are a couple minor differences. Of course, from 2003 to 2007 is the file versus the office button and getting into your Excel options. Okay. So when you come in here, you have your Trust Center, and then you select Trust Center Settings. And this is actually where there is a slight variation between 2007 and 2010. In 2007, in here in ActiveX Settings, you enable all controls and select the safe mode. Some people can, if you wanted to, select prompt before enabling, but if you opened your reports and things like that, up at the top you would have the yellow bar that you would have to click to enable content. You could do that, but typically most people just click enable all. Makes it easier, you open it, it runs like it's beautiful. Same thing with macro. You can hit enable and trust the VBA project. In 2010, there's another setting under here between macro and message bar. It's called protected view. And there are 3 checkboxes in there that you need to uncheck. It actually has something to do with protecting Outlook emails and attachments or something to that effect. So basically it blocks the attachments from hitting Outlook when you choose your email button. So you have to uncheck those 3 checkboxes for 2010. And then you click OK and OK. These settings don't change very often. Maybe if you got an update for Excel, it might change them, but the big one are the ActiveX there and Internet options. Those are really the culprits every time that you get an update, you have to reset. The other last piece of it is the VIS templates folder. This once you do it once, you don't have to do it again. But on the C drive of your computer, you need to add a folder called VIS templates, all one word. This is key. Actually, the other day we just had a customer, when you're clicking the proceed button on a document, you get a runtime error. It's because you didn't have the VIS templates folder. If you click to email and you get this automation and a negative, really long number runtime error, it's because you don't have a VIS templates folder. For the email feature, for those of you that are using the PDF 995 function still, how it works is when you click on the email button, we create the PDF doc, save it to this folder temporarily, and then add it as an attachment to the email. So this is a temporary housing for that attachment, and then we remove it. So when you click email, you get errors because it can't find the folder to save it to. The other reason for having this is the setup of the product position report that Tim actually showed you guys yesterday.
By the way, the other thing about that VIS templates folder is it has to be directly under the C drive. It can't be under like a separate folder on the C drive. It has to be directly in the C drive, and it has to be capitalized. The V, the I, the S, the T want to be capital. Otherwise,
It has to be sensitive. Other thing is this product position report. Tim showed it to you guys yesterday. You have probably 12 different ways to access it link-wise in the system. But if you come here for the first time and you try to, you don't even have to do anything. You see on the bottom, it's trying to save a copy of the template of the report to that folder. You have to have this saved to your computer in order for the report to run. So when you come in here, it pops up. You do a save as. Maybe, or maybe not. Let's try again. Save as. Oh, here it goes. I'm just impatient. Okay. So we save this template to the folder on C drive, the VIS templates folder that we made. And you just save it. Now, if I come in here and I want to look for a product or run the report will open. You have to have the template there. If not, it'll prompt you. If you don't have the folder there, then you're just gonna be in